3-0. 3-0, Steeler Nation, and it feels so good. The home opener in front of the fans, playing a 2-0 team, playing a team that was feeling good about themselves as well. And I'll even go out there and say that we played a complete game. Yeah, I'll say that. Was it dominant? No, not in my opinion. It was not dominant. But the second half was certainly dominant. I'll get to that in a little bit. But it was definitely a comfortable and convincing win. And I think this is the video about a certain player on this team that I think a lot of yins have been waiting for me to say. What's going on, everybody? I am Mac. Back with another video. As always, do me a favor, like, comment, subscribe, follow on Instagram. Link is in the box below. 20-10, the Steelers get it done over the Chargers at Heinz Field this afternoon. We are 3-0 for the first time since 2020. We won our home opener for the first time since 2020. Our first home win against the Chargers since, believe it or not, 2009. And I'm just going to say it right now. I sat down here when we got Justin Fields back in March, and I was skeptical about it. I said, I'm not a fan of him. I don't like the way that he plays. You know, sure, he had a crappy situation in Chicago, but, you know, we said the same thing about Mitch Trubisky and all that stuff, and look how that turned out. Man, oh man, did Justin Fields shut me up today. Okay? There is nothing. There is absolutely nothing that Justin Fields has done to warrant him being benched. Nothing at all. I mean, we're not asking for Patrick Mahomes or Josh Allen or, I don't know, Brock Purdy or whatever, any other great quarterback that you want to put in there. It don't matter. We're not asking for that. We're asking to see improvement with this offense, and we're asking for Justin Fields to go out there and deliver. And boy, did he deliver today. This may be the best game that he's had in his career. It very well may be. As, you know, I'm not a big next-gen stats kind of guy, but look at this chart right here. Look at this. You cannot tell me otherwise that you don't see a difference in offense from when Kenny Pickett was our quarterback and from when Matt Canada was the OC. Now we got Justin Fields as our starter, and we got Arthur Smith calling the offense. And I was hopeful about Arthur Smith, and I said that he could be the right guy with this offense. And while the offense certainly hasn't been incredible, you see new confidence each and every week with this offense and new improvement with this offense every single week. And I think today may have been the game where the offense just finally found an identity for themselves. But yeah, Justin Fields, I'm sold on the guy. I am. Keep him in as the starter. I will 100% eat crow with Justin Fields. I'm glad I was wrong with him. I'm glad I was. Justin Fields, he's starting to read defenses way better. He's starting to, you know, be quicker with his releases, not holding onto the ball as long anymore. I mean, sure, he had a couple moments like that today, but it's not like he did that throughout the entire game. You know, he's becoming more aware in the pocket. He's not staring down guys. And his release is just improving each and every week. And of course, how can you not like his footwork? How can you not like what Justin Fields has been doing so far? So let's get on into this game a little bit, man. You know, the first half for us was pretty conservative. It was pretty slow. And, you know, you're thinking to yourself, is this team ever going to find a rhythm on offense? You know, there was a lot of stuff like tossing and pitching it out to Najee, which is what I'm not a big fan of. You don't use him for stuff like that, and he was just going nowhere. The Steelers had like next to nothing as far as the run game went in the first half, and LA, I mean, they had 173 yards of offense in the first half, and it was just going to look like a long day. Way too much zone defense in the first half, and that's just a recipe for disaster. Culminated. Justin Herbert only had one passing touchdown today, and that was when he found Quinion Johnson in the first quarter, blown coverage by JPJ that allowed him to pretty much just waltz into the end zone untouched. But then it was like right after that, the defense just settled in. They didn't get a sack in the first half, but the second half came along, and it's like you're watching like the 2010 team. I have not seen a defense by this Steeler team be this dominant, I would probably say, since 2010. And I know that's crazy to think about, but seriously, I have not seen a Steeler defense be this brute or have this much brute, have this much grit, have this much physicality, and have this much brutality since 2010. I'm not kidding. Just the way that we were just covering every single aspect of the field in the second half. How we got up into Justin Herbert's face in the second half. TJ Watt getting sack number 99 and a half on the day today. Wow, man. You see guys like Cam Hayward coming in big. Our second leader in sacks all time now in Cam Hayward. How about Nick Herbig? I love this kid, man. When we drafted this kid, I was like, oh yeah, that's a big depth piece right there. And I am concerned about Alex Highsmith's groin problem. He's been nursing with that. He's been dealing with that for a little bit. But I'm telling you, if Highsmith goes down, I'm very confident because Nick Herbig is a very good substitute for him. He was getting in Justin Herbert's face today. And then how about Patrick Queen? 8 tackles for Patrick Queen today. He could have had an interception as well. He dropped it though, but man, 8 tackles for Patrick Queen today. That's what we get Patrick Queen for, man. What a day for him. First great game as a Steeler. The run defense in general. How about this freaking run defense, man? The Chargers were the league leaders in rushing yards through the first 2 weeks. Guess how many yards on the ground that this defense held the Chargers to today? 2.9. After they averaged over 9 through the first 2 weeks. 2.9 yards on the ground today that they averaged because this defense stepped up big time. Now, you see, that's how you make an adjustment. That's how you get a sense of, well, this game's comfortable enough. It's 13-10 or it's, tied at 10. We don't need to make this game too comfortable. We're going to show the Chargers who's boss. TJ Watt did the same thing. Oh, Joe Alt, you gave a good fight, my young friend, but now I'm going to show you why I'm a defensive player of the year candidate. Unbelievable adjustment in the second half by the Steelers today, man. Unbelievable. How about the entire team today? Dominated LA in time of possession in the second half. Absolutely freaking dominated them in yards. We had 346 total yards of offense today to LA's 168. The Chargers had -5 yards of offense in the second half. You want to talk about domination. You want to talk about just dominating your opponent in a half. Look no further than the second half of today's game. It's a shutout in the second half today. And it just goes to show that with the ball control, the yardage, aside from Justin Fields' interception that he had, that's really the only bad thing I have to say about today is Justin Fields' interception. But even then, he made up for it. You want to talk about adjusting, getting a sense of the game being too comfortable, and needing to put your opponent away with the ball control that you have, the yardage that you have, the amount of plays that you're getting on offense. Wow. Just wow, man. This is a game that I'll give Mike Tomlin credit for. I will. I'm still not a big fan of the guy, but definitely giving him credit for today. Okay? The whole team gets credit for today. And just the way that that the offense went. I mean, they had like nothing going on the ground for them in the first half. But then Najee Harris starts getting things going in the second half. He's picking up chunks of yards on the ground. The O-line's starting to block for him a little bit more. It sucks that Troy Faton was put on IR, so he's going to miss about 4 weeks. And I really don't like that Broderick Jones is still on the right side. But, you know, it seemed like more gaps were being opened up. Blocking was better. Just everything went well in the second half for this team today after they had a good but not great first half. You know, and of course, like I said, Justin Fields, I think this guy is just getting more and more confident as the weeks go by, and you see it. Big example I'll give you is, I believe it came in the second quarter, where it was 3rd and 4, and Justin Fields went back, and he was trying, and he found, I believe it was Scotty Miller, if I'm not mistaken, on 3rd and 4, and he read him perfectly. Like, literally, if Justin Fields missed it, it would have been a pick six, because the corner, I don't remember who it was, but the corner was you could see it. The corner was attempting to jump right in front of Scotty Miller, and it didn't happen because Justin Fields released it on time. He got it off to him in the nick of time, and it picked up a first down. Very next, a couple plays later on that same drive, Justin Fields rushes it in for a score on a read option. And that's what I'm talking about with ball control, yardage, time of possession. That was a 70-yard play that chewed up 7.5 minutes off the clock, and it resulted in a touchdown. You see it when Justin Fields is trying to thread the needle to Pat Freiermuth. And Muth had it, but he dropped it at the last second. Just a couple of, drops by the receivers today. I think Justin Fields played extremely well today. And if you're a Steeler fan, and if you're just a Justin Fields guy in general, you have to be happy for the guy. And then, of course, the big one, fourth quarter, 13-10. How about Justin Fields finding CA3 across the middle, breaking through a couple tackles, and he takes it 55 yards for a touchdown. And that was your turning point of the game for today. That pretty much ended the game. Incredible game by the Pittsburgh Steelers today. Great win for us. We're 3-0. And yes, man, I'm sitting down here right now saying that we have our quarterback. Yes, I still like Russell Wilson. Yes, I think that his veteranship and his leader mentality is good for this team. But after today, I don't care how Russell Wilson's feeling with his calf. I don't care how healthy he says he is. You cannot bench Justin Fields after today's game. You just can't. He needs to be the starter. But hey, even if that's the case, we have a valuable backup in Russell Wilson. But wow. What a game by the Steelers today, man. What a game. Now, look, I know that we got off to a hot start in 2020, and that was the last time that we started 3-0 as well. And I know back then, I got way ahead of myself and a lot of the, like 90% of the fan base, they got way ahead of themselves. I'm guilty of that. I'll fully admit that. But here's what I'm not going to do. I'm not going to jump the gun. I'm not going to say that this is a Super Bowl team, and I'm not going to say that we're the best team in the NFL. I'm just enjoying this as much as I can. We're 3-0. We're sole possession for first place in the division. All right? Sole possession, because think about it. The New York Giants went into Cleveland and beat the Browns today. despite them fumbling the opening kickoff and the Browns scoring a touchdown 9 seconds into the game. The Giants beat the Browns today. The Browns are 1-2. As I'm recording this video, the Ravens are just waltzing into Dallas, and they are kicking the Cowboys' ass right now. It doesn't matter what the Ravens do today. They're going to be 1-2 at best and tied with Cleveland at best. Same thing with Cincinnati. It don't matter if they win or lose tomorrow night against Washington. The Steelers are sole possession for first place. And I know that a lot of people are saying, well, you've played easy opponents so far. Well, you haven't had a challenge yet. I mean, what's the alternative? We lose all 3 of these games and we're sitting at 0-3, last place in the AFC North. It's better than the alternative. That's what I'm talking about. The schedule is going to get progressively tougher as the weeks go by. We all know the big one, okay? We play 3 games in 10 days in December, and we have 4 straight divisional games in the second half, which includes 2 of them being sandwiched into that 10, or no. The point is we play 4 straight divisional games in the second half, okay, at one point in the second half, and then we have 2 others. Follow that up with a stretch where we play 3 games in 10 days. So you have to pick up these wins early in the season, okay? Because that is going to be a determining factor of where you can be when January comes. So yes, the Steelers are going out there and doing their job. The Chargers, they're a tough team. They're a good team to start off this season, and we completely dominated them on defense when the Chargers were a run-heavy team. How can you not be impressed with this? How can you not? If you're a Steeler fan and this doesn't impress you, I don't know what to tell you. I really don't know what to tell you. But we get the win. We're 3-0. Let's head on to Indy next week to play the Colts. I believe they got the win over the Chicago Bears today. Hey, the last time we went to Indy, we took a bad L to them, but we got to go in there with that momentum. Okay, it feels different. We had no momentum going into Indy last year. We have a ton of momentum going into Indy this time around. And I think we go in there, and this time we play more complete in the first half. We brush up on those little teeny tiny minor things that we did wrong today. We can walk out of Indy 4-0 and then head back home to play the Cowboys on Sunday Night Football. But yeah, let's focus on next week, and let's just enjoy today, Steeler Nation. We're 3-0, baby. Sole possession for first in the division, and let's keep it going. Let me know what you think down in the comments below. I am Mac, checking on out for the day. Have a good one, everybody. Go Steelers!